Hello and welcome back to another one of our podcasts. Today we're going to be talking about the changes that are happening in April and stuff that was announced in the budget a little bit. So today I'm joined once again by Robyn. Brad is making a reappearance again, and we've got Kym, and I'm still Jack. And once again Robyn is going to be leading us, so after you.
So my first question is, I wanted to start off with the trending topic at the minute of fuel costs. So what are your thoughts on the cutting of fuel duty by 5p a litre?
Who wants to go first?
Well, I think it's good, it's been cut, but I don't think anyone's really seen it at the pump. Maybe 1 or 2 pence. I've seen 1 pence. But it's still not made a big enough difference because it'd gone up sort of 50p, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, or sort of between now and the end of lockdown. So for it to drop 5p, even if it was the whole amount, it's just still not enough. I think it's good, but because it's gone up so much, it's such a small dent in it that's not made a difference, and we're not getting it passed on at the pump.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree with you there. I think the day they actually announced it, the one local to us went up a penny. It didn't actually come down.
Oh really?
Yeah, it did go up.
I don't know how that.
I don't know how it works either, but
Yeah.
I think the idea of it's good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really been passed on. And I think 5p when it's gone up 50p is not really going to make a difference. But like I filled up my car the other day, and when I got my car in 2015, it was £80 to fill up, and then the other day it was 117. So
That's a big difference.
a huge difference there. But I don't know, got any thoughts on?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a good start, but needs more to be done. I think on average, for a full tank, you're saving about £3.30 with a fuel cut. So it's not actually saving much, really.
It's not a huge amount.
But it's
is
gone
it?
up so much a full tank in the last couple of months that it's nothing. So
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be, I've got written down, a saving of, for cars, £100 a year, and vans £200 a year. But
Okay.
obviously, that's if it's passed on. It's not legally having to be passed on, is it?
No. Which I guess is similar to what the VAT cut was
Yeah.
before during
Yeah.
COVID. It didn't have to be passed on. But everybody kind of expects it to be passed on.
especially because it's gone up so much recently.
Yeah, fuel duty as well has always been the same for 11 years, so that hasn't changed. So the tax on the fuel.
Oh,
so, maybe decreasing that would help.
Yeah, that's probably what they'll have to start looking at.
Would that be passed on?
I hope so.
So,
Yeah.
That's the question, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The next question is, the employment allowance has increased from £4,000 to £5,000 this year. How do you think this will impact our clients?
I think it's going to be a good impact. Obviously, an allowance going up is always a good thing
Yeah,
for starters,
That's quite a
especially
big chunk.
with £1,000. So in the last 2 years, it's gone up £2,000 because it was 3,000, then 4,000, now 5,000. Some of our clients it won't affect because they weren't even using the £3,000, let alone the 4,000. They're 5,000, so it won't make a difference. But some of them they do use it up, so it definitely will be good for them. Like I did a payroll yesterday, and they used the full £5,000 in the first month.
Yeah.
So obviously that grand is helping there, but
Yeah, some people run out a little bit towards the end of the year, so that'd be quite good. They won't have a bill at all. And like you say, the people who don't even use the 3, it's still a benefit because they potentially is there, but they're not paying that already. But it might, the people who just sort of fall into it or are coming out of it now, it might mean they could take someone on more because there's not an extra cost on top of the payroll, so it could help in expanding.
yeah, a bit of growth.
growing, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bit of relief of stress as well on the businesses.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause it is quite a big cost to a business.
Yeah.
So anything is good.
Yeah. And I suppose it's a bit of an additional charge that sort of comes from nowhere.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
top
exactly.
of what you're already paying. So
Exactly. Yeah, it's not deducted off the employee, obviously. Employers, they're not. But yeah, I think anything like that is always going to help clients out. I think our ones will see the benefit of it. I think we've got a good few that will see that £5,000, that increase, which I think is definitely a good thing.
Okay then, so the NI threshold has increased to be in line with the tax threshold from July 2022.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on that change?
I don't know if you two go first.
I think it's going to benefit the lower income sort of people or such. But I don't understand why it's done. It's not done in April rather than all the way in July.
Yeah, so I think HMRC's reason was software providers. But in my opinion, I think it's harder for software providers. I don't know, yeah, I'm not a development person, but I would assume it's easier to just change a number at the start of the tax year rather than having to rewrite something to then have it implemented from halfway through the year, say.
Depends if it's something as small as that or if there's a whole lot of
Yeah. So I don't know how that works with software people.
I'm assuming or guessing they would have consulted, so maybe they have got that information on.
You'd like to think they'd consult, but
who knows?
who knows?
Yeah.
I think that it is a good thing, bringing it in line, because once upon a time, a long time ago, it was in line. No idea when, but it was a long time ago when the tax allowance was a lot lower. And I think it's going to make it easier to explain to people where their brackets are, how they're getting taxed, how how it's calculated. Because if I'm honest, I don't remember off the top of my head all the time what the NI one is, but the tax code, easy. Everyone remembers that one. And like you said, it's going to help people. Definitely paying less NI, because I think there's quite a few people out there who are maybe just earning under the tax threshold, so they're not paying any tax, but they're paying quite a bit of NI.
Yeah.
But now they won't be paying NI, so their take home will be greater. Obviously not tons. It's not going to.
No, but if you're not earning a lot already and it's a small amount, it's still
definitely, especially with the cost of living at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously increasing quite heavily. But yeah, no, I think it is a good thing. But the employer thresholds are staying the same because they're getting the employment allowance increase. But yeah, I think the employees will see a benefit. But yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I've got some figures here of it should bring savings to those earning around 30k, but cost those earning more. So they won't have the saving, and I also looked at the typical employee will have a saving of about £330 a year.
Okay.
So
that's quite good.
Yeah, that's not bad. £330.
Yeah.
No, you can't complain. People still will still say it's not enough and need more, but £330 will help to something. Even if it is only a little bit, it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Over the year, it sounds more. But when you think about it monthly, it doesn't sound a lot. But over the year, when you think about your bills and everything over the year, council tax, electric, it's still a nice chunk towards something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, so the national living wage has increased from £8.91 to £9.50, which is an increase of 6.6%, compared to an increase of 2.2% the previous year. So why do you think HMRC have increased it so heavily?
Cost of living.
Cost of living, because everything's going up. Yeah.
Pretty much a simple answer.
Yeah.
Cost of living is through the roof, like we just said, but so I think that's got to be the main reason they've increased it that much more. Just that living wage. Obviously in London it's higher again, so you get a London weighting, but the living wage right now £9.50, I want to say this year.
That's the minimum wage, yeah.
That's the living wage.
The real living wage, £9.90.
Yeah. So
it's in £9.50.
Yeah, no, so the minimum wage and for over 25s is what they're classing as a living wage. They don't have a minimum wage, which is £9.50. But then the real living wage, which says £9.90. So there's a company called, it's just called the Real Living Wage. And they actually say, this is what it is. For the first time, it's got a lot closer.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot further apart. But they're still saying to be able to live now comfortably, it's £9.90, not £9.50. But it has obviously increased and it's getting closer, which is quite nice to see. But I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was for under 25s and all that, if I'm honest. But
No, I'm not sure.
890?
890?
Or is that an old one? I have to check.
So no, we'll have to check that.
Mm.
We'll put some details down below. But yeah, so it's quite a big increase. The only issue with it is small employers. I think they're the ones that are going to struggle to pay £9.50.
So a lot of places, as a law, wouldn't get that percentage of a pay rise.
No.
So they're getting that and they've got no choice.
Mm-hmm.
Can they afford it? So
It's a
could
thing.
it be a knock-on effect where people who are working part-time for a little bit extra won't have a job anymore?
Yeah, so it could actually be that issue. Because, like, you've got your little corner shop down the road. Are they going to be able to afford to be paying that? Unless they're a chain. If it's like a small independent shop, high chance they're not going to be able to afford that. Without then increasing their costs to their customers, which then is catch-22, and it got to increase your cost to pay people more, but then it's then costing people more to live
People are going to go
because
somewhere else.
yeah, so it's just that catch-22. I think that's the only downside, I guess, to not like there is a downside, but that's the only issue I can see with increasing it so much. Is people
It's good in there, but what is the long-term effect and how that would come back on you and your job? Is it for you?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just that everybody then will then put up their fees or whatever, be able to cover wages more, so then people having to pay more, and then it's just so on and so on and so on. It just keeps going, keeps on turning. One day it's just going to fall in it and break, but that's how it sort of works. A bit morbid, not morbid. Morbid?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic.
Maybe. I have no idea. But yeah, that's what I would say about it anyway. That's my thoughts.
Okay. So my last question then is the income tax basic rate will decrease from 20% to 19% in 2024. What do you think the impact of this will be?
Let's go first.
A bit more in people's pocket again.
A bit more in people's
so that's
pocket.
a good thing.
Yeah.
It's 2024, is it? Yeah, so it's a bit far off, but yeah, a bit more in people's pocket, especially for the people on the lower wage and minimum wage, things like that. So just that little bit extra. Do you know how much it is over the year, typically?
No. I
No.
haven't got that.
Yeah. So I know 1% doesn't sound a lot, but over the year it will be. And hopefully, it would be a good thing. Then hopefully other things won't go up too much by then, so people will see it more of a benefit rather than just an extra bit to pay all their bills.
Definitely. And then that's also coming in line with the current corporation tax rate of 19%, which is changing next year in 2023. That's a different conversation. So, which I think then in turn will mean our advice to clients will change. Because at the moment, when you get to a certain amount that you're earning or your profits, we start to advise maybe it's better to go to a limited company because you've got that tax saving of 19%. But at that point, it might not be worth it anymore.
Costs go up, don't they, anyway?
Yeah, so all costs go up, which will be going up for self-employed anyway because of MTD. So you got that as well. But staying then on self-employed, you've still got your tax-free allowance. Plus then it's 19% after, whereas corporation tax is 19% from 0 to whatever.
Yeah.
So I think our advice may start looking to change.
It's the other way now.
Yeah, so I think obviously it's still benefits of going to a limited company outside of tax savings, and I think our current clients that potentially are on the edge of it now and they're a limited company, I don't think they'll go back to self-employed. I don't think that would be worth it. Especially because you'd have to potentially go through like selling the business back to yourself and all this complication stuff and like some capital gains stuff. But I think it's a good thing. Over most of the things that we've mentioned are all good things, but yeah, that 1% you won't see it straight away. But yeah, and I think the way a lot of stuff works will change, which with the increased corporation tax, depending on your profits. It looks like a HMRC trying to push people away from limited companies now. Especially like the dividend tax has increased as well. So
Why?
don't know. Directors and stuff have had it very good for quite a long time. With the tax savings that they're making, all that kind of stuff. So maybe they're just curbing it.
That's sort of penalising for the ones who took advantage of it. but penalising everyone, but only the people who took advantage of it have made that happen, type of thing.
Yeah, but then I would say you've got accountants to blame, I guess, because if you think our job is to help people pay the little tax, so our advice has been like this, that, do that, pay yourself a dividend, you pay yourself a small wage. That's a standard advice that I think pretty much every single accountant out there gives, because it's tax efficient. That's the whole idea of it. So I haven't fully looked at it and looked at the numbers, but
I was thinking about all the naughty directors.
the naughty directors, yeah. There are also a lot of naughty directors. None of us can answer. But yeah, so I think, that's sort of where we're at, I think, with that. But it's interesting to see and how it will pan out with the route HMRC are taking. They seem to be moving stuff around and what they want to do. But
it'll all become clear, I expect.
Some grand plan.
Yeah. So I reckon it's got something to do with MTD.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they keep saying, because eventually I guarantee it's going to be paid tax quarterly. They keep saying they're not, but why else are they doing it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, I suppose people who open limited companies for a year, and then at the end of the year, they've got that whole year. Just talk about the naughty ones. The whole year to sort of be naughty, and then
and then they can just close it.
Quarterly, you haven't got as long, so
I don't know. You spoke a lot. Have you got anything to say on that? Or have we stole all your points?
Everything's pretty covered. But I was going to say that all these changes that have come into place in April just seem like benefiting the employee, like the small businesses, like the small limited companies. They're taking the hit on it, I suppose, with a higher wage increase. But then you've got the employers NI that you do get the relief on, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. See what you mean though. But it's sort of a...
there seems to be a little good and a little bad.
Then we can see both sides, but employees won't be seeing that side about, yes, I've been getting this, and then my NI is going to say, and the employer's going to see, I've got to pay this more, but I can get that back. So I think, because we see both sides of it, I guess we could be that middle ground. So some people disagree with us, some people agree with us. And then on the next sentence, then the other people then agree, and then the other people disagree. So we're in a catch-22 there, but there you go. Excellent.
Well, that's all my questions.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Has anybody got anything they would like to add to this? No? Perfect, cool. Well, thank you very much for watching this podcast. Once again, they are staying regular, so we're doing quite well, and the videos are coming back. We have started yesterday to do some cool stuff. We've got green screens and all sorts now. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. So please like, subscribe, comment, send this to anyone you think that might benefit from it. But otherwise, we will see you in the next one. Cheers.